Great. Thanks, Julia. Well, first, we'll start with one of Julia's sentiments of metta, which I have here in my special bowl. These are available. You can buy them from Soul Center. And these are cards that Julia's created with lots of sentiments that have artwork that was created from various members of Soul Center on the back. And the one we're picking today is May My Stumbles Reveal New Sights. So that's somewhat apropos, as you'll see, to what we're going to talk about. Maybe not directly, but kind of. We can make it retrofit. Um, okay, so the last time I led the meditation, we talked about the stories we tell ourselves, and that's been a big theme for me. Um, Something that I thought that I had invented actually several years ago. My fantastically fabulous life coach Mara is here on this in this meeting, and we started working together. I would say over 4 years ago, and I remember being out at a club and realizing one night, just kind of sparked in my head, like, wow, I'm really just processing through a lot of things that I think a lot of what other people are thinking of me in my head and creating these stories that I'm interpreting as exact truths. And I thought that I had just really stumbled upon something brilliant. It turns out that was not my own original creation, but it is something that is very prescient for me, and it sticks with me, and I think about it all the time because I have a very, very active storytelling mind. And so I've been thinking about that and how it hit here in Sangha the last time that I was able to lead this meeting, and I realize there's another part to this too. It's not just the stories that we tell ourselves, but it's also how we speak to ourselves when we're telling ourselves these stories. That's very important too. Um, so I noticed that these stories have a voice. And there's basically this running conversation going on in our heads all day long. I know I hear it. And when I started paying attention to mine, I realized that it's not always particularly nice, to put it mildly. In fact, I would say, and I've shared about it in here before, to those of you who've heard me share, it's pretty foul, and it's abrupt, and it's gruff, and it's mean, and it's nasty, and I say things to myself that I would never say to another human being, probably, and it's damaging. Um, so I'm not particularly nice to myself. I can be really impatient with myself. I'll replay something I said and think, why did I say that? What the fuck is wrong with me? I'll decide I should be doing something better. I should be further along at something. I feel behind. I feel like I'm missing out. I'm constantly gauging my performance. I shouldn't be feeling whatever it is I'm feeling. Whatever the feedback loop is, it's there. And the funny thing is, I would never talk to somebody else the way I speak to myself in my head, certainly not somebody I cared about. So that got me thinking about wise speech, as we've been talking about. We talked about it last night with John, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more tonight. It's something we talk about a lot here in Recovery Dharma and in Soul Center, and it's something that has a lot of facets that I think are important to take into account. So. We talk about wise speech in Recovery Dharma so often in terms of how we speak to other people. And that is, is what we're saying true? Is it helpful, kind? But what about the way we actually speak to ourselves? And I don't mean that we have to start telling ourselves how wonderful we are all day long. I mean, that certainly wouldn't work for me, and that's not really the point. Um, it's true. Sometimes we screw up. Sometimes we make poor decisions. Oftentimes we do. Sometimes we fall back into old patterns, and that's especially true in recovery. I mean, one of the things that I love about Recovery Dharma in specific is that it actually welcomes those recurrences and looks at those as building opportunities for stronger recovery later. Um, so we need to be able to look at all of this stuff honestly. But I think there's a difference between being honest with ourselves and just beating the crap out of ourselves. There's a difference between saying, I made a mistake and I am the mistake. Those are two very different things. So that's what I thought we would sit with today. Just noticing that voice a little bit, not trying to shut it up, not trying to replace every negative thought with a positive one. We're not trying to be Pollyannas here, but noticing how we converse with ourselves and maybe asking, would I talk this way to somebody I love? So let's get comfortable. We're going to start a little meditation here. There are going to be some pauses in here. So if I break for a minute, don't think that my sound has gone out or that we're over. I will end this and you'll know it's over when it's done. So, however you're sitting is fine. Maybe adjust a little if you need to. Feel your feet on the floor, your butt in the seat or on the cushion. Let your hands rest wherever they're comfortable. And you can close your eyes if that feels right for you, or just lower your gaze. Take a slow breath in and let it out. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Just give yourself a second to arrive. We've all had a whole day before getting here. Whatever kind of day you've had, you don't need to do anything about it right now. You're here. Feel the weight of your body. Notice your hands. Maybe let your shoulders drop a little. Relax your jaw and notice your breathing. Don't change it. Just notice it. Now just notice what's happening in your mind. You don't have to go looking for anything. There might be thoughts. There might be planning. Maybe you're thinking about something that happened earlier. Maybe you're thinking about what you're going to do after the meeting. That's fine. Just notice. And then notice the tone. How is your mind talking to you? Maybe you've already criticized yourself today. Maybe you forgot something and thought, God, I'm an idiot. Maybe you looked in the mirror and immediately found something or many somethings wrong. Maybe you're worried about something and part of you is saying, why can't I just deal with this? Maybe you're struggling with something in your recovery and thinking, geez, I should be better at this by now. Just notice. We don't have to judge the judging. That's just more judging. We're just noticing. Oh, there it is. Would you look at that? And notice what happens in your body when that voice shows up. Maybe you tighten somewhere. Maybe your stomach feels a little different. Maybe your jaw tightens. Maybe you don't feel anything. That's okay too. Just notice. Come back to your breathing. In and out. Now think of something that's been bothering you lately. Nothing huge. We don't need to dig up the most painful thing in our lives for this. Just something. Maybe you handled something badly. Maybe you've been procrastinating. Maybe you got angry. Maybe you had a craving. Maybe you're worried about something, or maybe you made a mistake. It happens. Whatever comes to mind. Notice what you say to yourself about it. Really listen. And then ask yourself, if a friend came to me with this exact same thing, what would I say to them? Maybe they'd say, I screwed up, or I'm having a really hard time, or I don't know why I keep doing this. Would you tell them they're hopeless? Would you say, yeah, because you're a fucking moron? Probably not. You'd probably say, yeah, that sucks, or I get it, or you're having a hard day. I've been there too. Maybe you remind them that one bad day doesn't erase everything else. Maybe you just listen. You probably wouldn't give them some huge inspirational speech. You'd just be there. So see what it feels like to do that for yourself. No big speech, just a little less hostility, no name calling. Maybe instead of, I can't believe I did that again. What a insert expletive here. It's, okay, that happened. Instead of, I'm an effing loser, maybe it's, I'm having a hard time with this. Instead of, I should be further along, maybe this is where I am right now. That's not letting ourselves off the hook. It's just being accurate. I made a mistake can be true. I am a mistake isn't the same thing. And when we aren't busy attacking ourselves, sometimes it's actually easier to take responsibility. We can say, yeah, I did that. I don't feel good about it. I need to make it right. And then we can figure out what comes next. Bring your attention back to the breath. Feel it coming in. Feel it going out. Imagine you're walking through a quiet forest. It's cool out. There's a little mist in the trees. You're just walking along a path. Nothing you need to get to. You're just walking. Imagine somebody you care about is walking with you. And they tell you they're struggling. Maybe they're ashamed. Maybe they think they're screwing up recovery. Maybe they just don't feel very good about themselves right now. Notice how naturally you want to be kind to them. Maybe you say, you're okay. I'm glad you're here. Just keep going. You can start again. Now see if you can turn some of that back toward yourself. Maybe quietly say, I'm still learning. I'm allowed to have hard days. Or I can take responsibility without tearing myself apart. I can start again. And maybe some part of you immediately says, nope, that's okay. We're not trying to force anything. Notice that too, and come back to the breath. One thing I've learned in my recovery is that shame isn't always a very good teacher. We can look honestly at what we've done. We can apologize. We can make amends. We can change what we're doing, but we don't have to hate ourselves while we're doing it. So for the next couple of minutes, let's just sit, feel the body, feel the breath, and every once in a while, notice how you're talking to yourself. Don't correct it. Don't analyze it. Just listen to it. And if something harsh comes up, maybe ask, would I say that to somebody I love? Okay, come back to the body. Feel your feet on the floor. Feel the chair underneath you. Notice your hands. Notice your breath. We're not trying to leave here today and never have another shitty thought about ourselves. That's probably not going to happen. We're just trying to notice a little sooner. And maybe when we do notice, we have a choice. Maybe we don't have to believe everything that voice says. Maybe we can respond a little differently, a little more honestly, a little more kindly. Let's finish with a few simple wishes. May I be honest with myself. May I be kind to myself. May I learn from my mistakes without becoming my mistakes. May I remember that I'm still learning, and when I get lost, may I begin again. And let's extend that to everybody here and everybody walking this path with us. May we offer ourselves the same patience we offer each other. May the way we speak to ourselves create a little less suffering, especially the words that nobody else ever hears. Take a nice, slow breath in and let it out. Start noticing the room again, sounds around you. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes and welcome back. So let's take a moment to dedicate whatever benefit may have come from our practice together today. May it be shared with everyone who's struggling, with everyone who's suffering, with everyone trying to heal, change, or find their way. May we learn to meet ourselves and each other with a little more patience, a little more kindness, and a little less judgment. May our practice be of benefit not only to ourselves, but to everyone whose lives we touch. May all beings be free from suffering. May all beings find peace, and may all beings be free. Thank you.